Arabian horses are often seen as some of the most beautiful horses in the world, but that beauty isn't what allowed them to survive for thousands of years. The reality is, they were shaped in an environment so harsh that only the most efficient individuals could endure. And when you look deeper into their origins, you begin to realize this isn't just a breed. It's a system of selection built on survival. Chapter 1. Origins in Survival. When people think of Arabian horses today, they often picture elegance, arched necks, refined heads, and controlled, graceful movement. But that image represents only a small part of their history. The true origin of the Arabian horse is not rooted in beauty, but in survival under some of the harshest conditions on Earth. This breed developed over centuries on the Arabian Peninsula, where water was scarce, vegetation was limited, and temperatures could shift dramatically between day and night. In such an environment, survival was not guaranteed. Horses that could not conserve energy, travel efficiently, or tolerate heat simply did not persist. There was no margin for weakness and no room for excess. For the Bedouin tribes, horses were not symbols of wealth or status, but essential tools for survival. They were used for long-distance travel across open desert, for rapid raids, and for maintaining communication over vast and unforgiving terrain. Selection was practical and consistent. Horses that could move long distances with minimal water, recover quickly after exertion, and maintain endurance over time were the ones that were kept and bred. Over generations, this process created a horse that is compact, efficient, and highly resilient. Their smaller size was not a limitation, but an advantage, allowing them to use less energy while maintaining performance. They were never designed to overpower, but to endure. In this way, the Arabian horse was not shaped by appearance, but by necessity. Its form reflects a long process of adaptation where survival, not beauty, was the standard. Chapter 2. The Biggest Misconception. One of the most common misconceptions about Arabian horses is that because they're smaller, they're weaker. In reality, the opposite is true. Their size isn't a limitation. It's the result of generations of selection focused on survival efficiency. Arabian horses are typically smaller than many European breeds, but their bodies are built for sustained performance with minimal energy use. Strong bone structure, a short back, and highly efficient respiratory and cardiovascular systems allow them to maintain movement over long periods without fatiguing quickly. These traits are critical in desert environments, where distances between water sources can stretch for dozens, even hundreds of miles. In modern endurance competitions, Arabian horses and their crosses consistently dominate. Not because they're the fastest over short distances, but because they can maintain a steady pace over extreme distances and recover more efficiently after exertion. This reflects their original purpose, not to display short bursts of power, but to survive and keep moving under harsh conditions. Judging Arabian horses by size alone misses the point. Their true value lies in biological efficiency, the balance of endurance, recovery, and energy conservation. Chapter 3. The Real War Horse. Arabian horses are rarely described as heavy war horses in European history, but that doesn't mean they didn't play a role in warfare. In reality, they were used in a completely different style of war, one built on speed, mobility, and efficiency, rather than weight and force. In desert environments where terrain is open and resources are limited, Bedouin tribes couldn't rely on large, energy-demanding horses. Instead, they needed horses that could move fast over long distances, change direction quickly, and maintain endurance for days at a time. Arabian horses fit those demands precisely. They were commonly used for raids, scouting, and rapid movement. Unlike heavy cavalry in Europe, warfare here depended on speed, surprise, and the ability to disengage quickly. In that context, a lighter, more responsive, and enduring horse was far more valuable than a larger but slower one. The relationship between rider and horse also played a critical role. Historical accounts suggest Arabian horses were often kept close to people, even inside tents, which made them more responsive and easier to control. This created a tight connection between rider and horse in situations that required quick reactions. Arabian horses were not built for overwhelming force, but for tactical efficiency. They weren't meant to dominate head-on. They were meant to move faster, last longer, and adapt to a very different kind of warfare. Chapter 4: Global Influence. If you judge Arabian horses by size or appearance alone, they may not seem as impressive as many of the larger European breeds. But their true impact isn't physical, it's genetic. Over centuries, Arabian horses have become one of the most important foundations in the development of modern horse breeds worldwide. In Europe, especially from the 17th century onward, Arabian horses were introduced into breeding programs to improve speed, endurance, and refinement in local stock. One of the clearest examples is the development of the thoroughbred, which traces back to 3 foundation sires of Eastern origin, including Arabian lines. Traits such as acceleration, efficient respiration, and endurance all reflect that influence. But their impact didn't stop there. Arabian bloodlines spread into Iberian horses, European sport horses, and even several breeds in the Americas. Rather than remaining a separate, isolated breed, they became embedded within the genetic structure of many different horse populations. What's important is that this process wasn't accidental. Breeders deliberately selected Arabian horses for specific traits, especially their ability to improve performance without compromising overall balance. The Arabian horse doesn't just exist in its own history, it exists in the history of many others. Its influence isn't always obvious, but it runs through some of the most important foundations of modern horse breeding. Chapter 5: The Final Truth. When people look at Arabian horses today, they're often drawn to their refined appearance and their presence in show arenas. But if you stop there, you miss what truly shaped this breed over thousands of years. Arabian horses were not created to be beautiful. They were shaped to survive in conditions that many other breeds simply could not endure. What sets them apart isn't a single trait, but a balance. Endurance, recovery, and efficient energy use working together. This is the result of a long process of selection, where each generation had to meet the demands of both environment and human use. Nothing about them is accidental, and nothing is unnecessary. Over time, their role has changed. From a survival partner in the desert, they became a genetic foundation for many modern breeds, while also appearing in sport and show environments. Yet no matter the role, their core traits remain the same: resilience, efficiency, and adaptability. If there's one thing to understand, it's this: the Arabian horse is not simply a symbol of beauty. It's the result of a strict, functional system of selection. It's not an exception to nature, but a clear example of how nature and human needs can shape a breed with lasting global impact. If you find this video valuable, you may consider supporting the channel through Super Thanks. Your support helps sustain the research and time behind each documentary. For those interested in learning more, I've included a few carefully selected books in the description below. They offer a deeper, well-documented look into the history and development of these horses.